Okay, welcome back to Angel Angela, and as you guys can tell by the title, I want to talk about why the narcissist has to hide the new supply from you. Why the narcissist has to hide the new supply. Even when you're with them, sometimes they're hiding you from other people. They're showing only glimpses and pieces of you to other people because they don't really want everyone in their business. They might even tell you, hey, I don't want people in my business because they want to bring up my past or how I used to be, because I used to be someone that, hey, I didn't even like that person, and now I'm a new version of myself. And, I don't want my past to be brought up, and once you deal with these people, you actually realize that when they're hiding their past, or you can just tell when they're not fully committed, or even when they show you around their family and friends, but at the same time, it seems like their friends and family got something they got to say to you, but they're not saying anything, or they know something you don't know, because they're hiding stuff, right? The narcissist is always hiding stuff. They're hiding the new supply. They're hiding you. And I haven't really talked about this, but I'm going to just do it. You guys know when I'm making these videos, I'm lazy. Right now, I got a flat tire. So I'm going home. It's like something's up with my tire. Maybe it's my rim, because the air just went out quick, and my weekend is basically over and done with till tomorrow, Monday. So I figure out what's going on, why it's, but I'm good right now. I'm good. So I'm recording myself. Hopefully I could, make it home safely and catch everything, right? So I'm recording this video on my way home right now. Sidetrack, no, you guys didn't even need to know that much, because that's embarrassing. But I was like, you know what? I don't really talk about this much, but I need to talk about it, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you probably have went through really freaky situations with the narcissist where things just start revealing itself. Like, shit is revealing itself left to right. You don't even, it comes a point in time where you can no longer be gaslit, right? But you still want to be dumb. You still want to play like you're dumb, like you still want to be trapped in the fucking delusion, right? Because you're afraid of the reality. You knew, hey, it's a possibility I've been getting gaslit. I always knew, but I wasn't sure. Now I know for sure. But too much bad shit has happened in such a little amount of time to where maybe your family's not talking to you. Maybe your friends are done with you, right? They're like, I'm done hearing about the narcissist. So now you're fully isolated, and you feel like, damn, you isolated me, and my life sucks with you. If we were the two last people in this planet, my life sucks so damn much with you that now that I rethink my life, if you were the last person in this planet, I'd rather be alone. I wouldn't talk to you, because you're evil, you're wicked, you're selfish, you're greedy. You're just an evil person. You're not considerate. You think everything's about you. You don't want anyone to have shine. You don't let everyone just enjoy the energy and the good vibes. You have to fuck it up every time. So eventually you realize, you're like, man, if this person was the last person on earth, like, no, right? But then, because that's what you feel like. You feel like it become like, you feel like no one exists, right? Because you're not close to anybody. You feel like you could be in a room full of people and you feel lonely, right? So it basically feels like you're in this world and it's just you and the narcissist. That's all you know. That's basically, you feel like, hey, we're supposed to survive this. The world is ending. We're going to die. You're like, oh shit, we're really going to die. All of us. The reality of life sets in. And the narcissist is like, oh, the reality set in? Okay, cool. The reality finally set in. So that means you know who I am, right? And you're like, no, I I know who you are, but you can't be that evil. And they're like, yes, I am that evil. You know, matter of fact, I'm going to show you once again. So what do you do when you're dealing with an evil person? You shouldn't want to be with me. Even if I'm the last person in this world, you shouldn't want to be with me. Because I don't bring you no good, no matter how nice you are to me. I'm not gonna multiply it into something great. You know, I'm never gonna give you what you want. So when you're with the narcissist, they start to try to disconnect you from people, meaning that even if you're around friends, family, whoever you are, they try to talk down on you. They try to make it seem like you're a burden to them. They start making it seem like there's something wrong with you. If you become silent, you almost feel like, well, maybe I just can't be myself because you don't like who I am, so I'll just be silent. But then the silence will piss them off too. Like, why are you being weird? Go back to your normal self. And you're like, I don't know what this motherfucker wants from me anymore. Like, I just don't know anymore, right? The frustration will get you. And all it does is it isolates you more. And you know what's crazy? The narcissist knows it's isolating you. And they're watching you destroy yourself. They're watching you battle yourself. Like, what's wrong with me? There's something wrong with me. I remember a time where I did something very nice for the narcissist. I got like a nice... I got like a nice room and decorated it, ordered from like one of the restaurants that he likes. I ordered a whole bunch of different appetizers and meals and just laid it everywhere, and he got to dig out and enjoy himself. And I remember the narcissist said to me, he said, someone else would have really appreciated this. And I said, what the hell you mean by that? Because he was really intoxicated. I said, what the hell do you mean by that? And he's like, I just mean like some dudes look at stuff like this and they think it's like super romantic, and like it's something like they would be like hypnotized because they'll be like, oh, my girl did something super sweet like this. But to me, it's not a big deal to me. Like, other dudes would appreciate this way more than me, because to me it's like, it's whatever. Like, I've had a lot, like almost like I had a lot of people do good things for me. Like, it don't mean nothing. Like, they're basically letting you know that good deeds to them don't mean shit, right? And they say this because they feel like whenever you feel like another time, right, the narcissist's car was caught up, it wasn't working, it stopped in the freeway in the middle of the night, and I had to get family to come and help him to get his car out or whatever. And then he discarded me, right? He was already with the new supply, but he discarded me shortly after. And I remember telling him, I'm like, I just helped you change your fucking, helped you with your car being stuck in the freeway. You just like treat me like dog shit. And like, you know, you feel used, right? Like someone just played you and you did something. You went out of your way. You involved other people that only do stuff because they're connected to you, because they care about you. So the narcissist is like, oh, you know, I don't really care about the good deeds type of things. Like, I would have got someone else to do it. They're like, if you wouldn't have been you, I would have got someone else to do it. Like, they live in this world where they look at people, everyone they get with is used for a purpose. So when they're treating you a certain type of way, to them it's like, I'm treating you this way because I got someone else that can supply me with the same thing. So everything is supply and demand. It's like a business, right? So the narcissist carries their relationship almost like a business. So there was this just don't appreciate type of energy, right? They didn't care. They're like, oh, someone else would have appreciated, another guy would have really appreciated stuff like this, like, because that's what a guy would want. But I'm not a normal guy. I'm not like, I don't care about I don't care about none of that. I don't care about, like, I can do those things myself. They look at anything that they could do themselves like, oh, I could do it myself. Yet a lot of times they're not in a position to do it themselves, or a lot of times they want you to do it so that they can invest more, so that they can invest their money into themselves. Everything is done, you know, for a motive. And this is why a lot of times they have to separate relationships from people, because they got multiple people they're using for different sources of supply, and they feel like if people come together to understand these things, they wouldn't want nothing to do with them. And another thing, sorry you guys, I made it home safely. So another thing that I also realized, right, because I started to realize, like, this person, they don't appreciate anything. Another thing that I started to realize is that when I started to introduce them to people, like people in my family, for example, I have an aunt that I brought them around, right? They started to, when they got to know my family and they got with that new supply, they were, see, my family is from this big city, but they moved into smaller cities or whatever. But we always go back to the city, you know, because it's home. But we don't live there. So the narcissist has family that live there. They're from the city as well. So in this huge big city, out of all days that my aunt decided to go down there, right? She doesn't live out there. Out of all days that she decided to go out there, she bumps into the narcissist at the bank, at the ATM machine, right? And this is after I had got her involved to help me when his car something had happened to his car on the freeway, right? And this is how they ended up they had already met, but this kind of gave them bonding time because they were dealing with waiting for AAA for like an hour. They kind of bonded one-on-one longer. And the reason narcissists like to separate people is because we're human beings. So we're human beings. So we are all naturally connected to one another as human beings, right? We are one race. We're connected. And this is what it taught me, right? The narcissist gets people to do deeds for them and they don't appreciate it, but they don't want people to know that they're evil, that they're users, that they're manipulating people, because they might tell you they're in need of something and might lie to you and tell you, oh, there is a death in my family, but they told someone else a completely different story. So they get caught up in their lies, so they have to separate people. This is the reason they separate people. They separate the new supply from you. They don't want that person to catch up. They don't want that person to know their past, right? That's their whole thing, is I don't want this person to know my past. That's why I'm hiding my new relationship, because I don't want things to be revealed, because I want things to be revealed on my own time. So they're trying to manipulate energy. When my aunt bumps into the narcissist, right? The narcissist acts like he doesn't see her at the ATM. He was ahead of her. She was pulling in. He was in the line. And he must have been with the new supply, like I said, right shortly after all the help I gave him and everything, right? I'm thinking maybe there's something wrong with me. So now I'm going extra hard for the relationship. So everything, right? When he said what he said, I was like, in my mind, I was like, there's nothing I can do to please this person. The fact that he would even say that, like, they're so disrespectful even to your face. After they know they played games with you, they'll sit there and expose themselves and act like you're fucking crazy. And that's what will drive you to insanity. So, and because you don't see what they're doing behind your back, this is what keeps you attached to them, meaning that this is what keeps you connected to them, loving them, when really you shouldn't care about this person. They should be a stranger to you off the street. But that's why they have to keep everything so secretive, so that you can't even, so that they can have fog and you can't have clear sight. So when I started to realize that the energy, why the narcissist is so strategic, why, you'll think to yourself, why do they have to keep lying to your face even when you know they're lying? It's like, why do they have to keep this act? And that's because they're buying time. They're buying time. So now she's seeing the narcissist on the ATM. She's not intelligent enough to say, oh, the narcissist is acting like they don't see me because my niece and him, they're not together anymore, whatever the case is. So she's not thinking in her head, no, he's acting like he doesn't know me because he might have someone in the car with him, right? She's not looking to look around and see, hey, is there any women in the car, in the passenger seat? She's not thinking that, because the narcissist is throwing her off. He's acting like, I just came to the ATM. I don't have the car on me. I walked over here. So he walks across the street to another shopping center, right? He walks across the street like he doesn't see her, like she doesn't exist. So she snaps a picture, sends it to me. And she's like, is this him? She's like, I'm 1,000% sure that's him. I'm not crazy. Because once you meet someone and you've been one-on-one with them, how are you going to see them and not remember them? It's like meeting someone at a gas station and then you have a conversation with them and then you see them somewhere else. Even though you don't know that person, you still can recollect who you've seen. So the narcissist has this thing where they like to play stupid and hope that you'll be stupid enough to not know what's going on. And because she's not paying attention, she's paying attention to, why is this person acting like they don't know me, caught up in her ego. She's not looking around. Then she snaps the pic, whatever, right? I'm telling her, like, how come you didn't look around? The new supply was probably in the car, and the narcissist wants to keep lying and saying that there isn't no new supply, and they want to blame you. They're making up arguments, and even when you stay silent, they're mad at you for being silent because they can't start a fight with you. They're mad at you because you're not calling them out, because you're letting shit play out. You're like, I already know you're up to something. I already know you've been working really hard on this person, and I already know the time is coming to where you're gonna make your move because you've been gaslighting me this whole time. So I'm thinking, like, okay, even though the narcissist tried to hide it by walking across the street, as an empath, when you deal with these type of evil people, you can recollect, you know why they're doing while the normal typical person won't know. They'll just think to themselves, oh, the narcissist was acting funny. But when you've dealt with this person, you know that every little thing that they do is strategic, and you know that they're secretive. So everything that they did was an act of being secretive, right? And the reason they keep the new supply and people away is because they know the more people that they connect to in your life, the more chances it is for those people to run across the new supply or anyone that might be connected to the new supply, because as human beings, we're all connected. And this is why they'll try to separate people, because some way, somehow, even through the internet, right? A narcissist could have kept all their children separated from one another, but at some point the children get smart, they wake up, they realize this parent is full of shit, they had a whole bunch of kids, and the children might start looking for one another, and they might say, oh shit, I all I needed was that last name, and I googled it on Facebook and I found my half sibling, right? But the narcissist parent kept that shit a secret for so many years, and you're wondering, why did they keep their children from knowing one another? Why all of this? Because the moment the women click up with each other, the narcissist will be destroyed. Because guess what? That mother that might have not put him on child support, now she'll be like, oh, I'm gonna put you on child support because I went through the same trauma through you, and now I've realized that you've done this to other people, and we've all lived the same story. So women can be put in a position to unite because they might have been young and oblivious to things. So the narcissist has to keep things a secret because it'll ruin their relationships with triangulating their children, the supply they're getting from their children, the women. It'll ruin their supply, and now they would have to depend on that new supply all the way. And this is why a lot of times they'll separate the new supply from knowing everyone, because not everyone has forgiven the narcissist or has came to accept certain things, because they know that narcissist isn't even taking the steps to change. So when the narcissist is keeping people away, it's because they're still living in secrecy. They're still living in secrecy because there are other things that haven't been exposed. There are things that they might even done to you that you don't even know about. You might have felt like you've dealt with them in the worst way, but you don't even know the half. That's why when they did what they did, they didn't feel bad, because they felt like, you're crying and you're doing all this all the dramatics over these things, you don't even know the fucking half. So this is why they have to keep things secretive with the new supply, because as long as you know that they're being secretive with other people, if they're exposing themselves, it's because they know that they've hurt you enough to where they've silenced you. If they're keeping things a secret, they're not posting as much anymore. They're not posting the new supply or anything. They're just going ghost. You haven't heard from them. They haven't said nothing. They've just disappeared. That means they're still living, and on top of that, that means that they're still living their life in secrecy. They have never came back to apologize to you. They've never apologized for all the good deeds that you've done to them. Even as the empath has forgiven them. Over the years, you'll forgive the narcissist because you want to forgive yourself for being naive, for not understanding how this world is, how evil people are. You'll forgive them because you will put yourself in their shoes and say, this is a fucked up person, a fucked up, shit in their life made them who they are, and you realize, you come to a point where you're like, oh, you can't change people, so I have to forgive myself for just loving the wrong person. But at the same time, you showed them something real that they might have gotten before, but no one will ever be you. At the end of the day, they can't erase the time they've had with you, just like you can't erase the time you've had with them. It still happened. As much as they ignore you and they act like you don't exist anymore, right? They never come back. They're never apologetic. They never show remorse. And a lot of times it's because they haven't changed and things are happening to them. And a lot of times they feel like they deserve the things that's happening to them, but they're not willing to give you the satisfaction of knowing these things are happening to them, and at the same time, they're still getting supply because they feel like, as long as I keep everyone separated, I'm living off this supply. So to them, it's like, I might be on a vegan diet, but at least I'm eating something. I might not have everything I want, but I got something I'm eating right now. And as long as I'm eating, I know you wish I didn't have anything because I know you hate me. They think you carry this hate. A lot of times, these people are afraid of you because they know they cross lines where you deserve to kill them and fuck them up, really, to be honest with you. They cross way too many lines. So this is why they have to keep people separated, because they also feel like, what if you're a danger to the new supply? Or what if the new supply approaches you and they already know you're on your last pubic hair, and if this new supply tries to pull on that, you gonna mess them up, because they should have never even put their hands on you. They don't even know you. They know you might spaz out. So this is why they have to keep people separated, because they don't want the person that they're manipulating to know that this is just the same game they've always played, that no matter how nice they are, everything is convenient. It's for convenience for them. They keep people separated because for some odd reason, this is why you have to be careful who you talk to, who you sleep with, who you allow to touch you, who you make eye contact with, because we are all connected as human beings, and when we bond or we come across one another, chances are that the universe will bring you back to those people you've connected to. But because the connection the narcissist had with you is false, they have nothing but false connections. They know that what goes around comes around, and what they're doing is they're stopping karma for coming around. This is why they don't care about karma. They'll tell you karma, fuck karma. I'm not scared of karma because I'm always watching out for karma. I'm always paying attention to karma. And when I see karma coming, I'm going to do something to you. I'm going to do something to the new supply and make them feel like it's something you're doing, so that I could disappear for a little bit till whatever's going on dies down, or until I make a new plan, a new lie, and then I can come back to the new supply and say, hey, that person that says they're having a baby by me, they're lying. That person was a whore. They were sleeping with the entire neighborhood. You know, so this is why they have to silence people. This is why they have to keep people separated, because they know people are going to be connected to one another. So what reassured me this, right, is a small world. My aunt happened to be there at the right time, at the right place, right where the narcissist was caught up in their bullshit. She lives in a whole nother city, but she just happened to be there because she's connected to me and he's connected to me. So his lies are being exposed, even though I'm not looking to expose him, because I already know. I just didn't want to see it with my own eyes. But things are being the universe will force you to see these things, or will force the narcissist to treat you really bad and expose themselves. So there's either the universe is going to help you see things with your own eyes, or the narcissist will reveal themselves. They will get so diabolical where they will reveal themselves, because everything you do in the dark has to come to light. So no matter how much they try to keep everything separated, it has to come to light. So this is why you should always be aware. This is why you have to test people's spirits, right? They always talk about you got to test people's spirits. So I told you guys, I'm gonna say this story again. People, new subscribers. I don't like the word followers. New subscribers might have subscribed, so I'm gonna repeat the story. But I told you guys once, about 2 years passed by, I started dating again. A friend from out of state moved out here. Moved back out here, and I'm like, okay, we've always been cool, let's link up, because I haven't seen you in forever, and as soon as I hugged her, I felt like the new person that I was dating was connected to her. I just felt an instant connection. And this is why I said the narcissist tries so hard to keep people away from one another, but human connection is still human connection. So when I connected to her, I instantly felt the connection of that person I was dating, and my intuition said, ask her if she knows him. I told my intuition, I said, I'm not going to ask her that because she don't know him and I haven't seen her in years. My intuition said, ask her, what do you have to lose? So I said, to look crazy. And my intuition's like, well, who cares if you look crazy? You'll be crazier if you pass this opportunity up and don't do what I tell you to do. So I asked, right? And she tells me why Why are you asking me about him? Yeah, I do know him. He drives this. He drives a motorcycle too. And he this and that, right? She's telling me a full description of this person, which is the same person, right? And I said to myself, the only reason I had enough power to decipher what was going to happen before it happened, the reason I was able to have enough power, because I didn't give my power away to this man, because I wasn't comfortable opening up my heart and my spirit to anyone after what I went through, right? But I was still trying to give it a chance, because I knew, hey, I got to move on with my life at some point. I got to the point where I was like, the narcissist moved on a long time ago, right? While we were together, and I'm still here single. So yeah, I took the steps, but I was still holding myself in, and I started to tell myself, why are you like this? What's wrong with you? This guy is perfect, nice, wealthy, has a business. You should have already slept with him. Imagine how many girls are throwing themselves at him. You should just sleep with him. Why are you holding back because of what someone else did? And my spirit said to me, don't do it. I know you're hurting, but don't do it. And you're going to find out why. So I kept dating him until I told you guys I met up with that friend. I didn't pass the only thing I ever did was kiss this person. So instantly I'm connected to them because of the intimacy, the kiss that I gave him, right? The kiss, it could be a kiss of death. That's why you have to be careful with people, because they'll kiss you and they'll be giving you the kiss of death, like Judas. So something about that kiss said to me, this is not for you. I could just feel it in the kiss. No matter how perfect it seemed, there was this disconnection. And I felt that disconnection before with the narcissist, right? But when you've never had certain things, you're more excited about them. And that's why the narcissist felt like you were the perfect supply, because you were excited about him, not knowing that he's a liar, because you don't know what a liar is. So I waited, saw this friend, instantly felt a connection, like a vibration, inner thoughts, something high, a higher power than me. That's why I'm like, sometimes you're like, oh, is God real? I don't think God is real. I think everything is just common sense, human, animal nature, whatever, instincts. But the voice said, ask her if she knows him. What do you have to lose? That's when I knew, because I already knew when the narcissist got caught up with my aunt. I said, something about these people are so demonic that it's like forcing the light. It's forcing for the light, for everything that's in the dark to come to light. It's like the universe is forcing it. It's forcing these people to get their karma. It's forcing exposure, right? Because what the hell, I'm like, they happen to be at the right time, at the right place. Another time, the narcissist, the mother of his son was coming to the house to pick up his son, but I wasn't aware of it, right? Because he was there for the weekend, but I wasn't aware at what time she was going to come, because I wasn't the one communicating with her. But I knew she was going to come pick him up eventually, but I didn't know what day. I didn't know if it was Sunday. I didn't know what time, nothing. While I'm in the bathroom, my intuition, the voice in my head said, she's here. And I said to the voice, who's here? And then the voice was like, you're going to see right now. So then when I opened the door and I saw him gathering all of his son things, his backpack, and she was in the living room, I was thinking to myself, oh, her. You know what I'm saying? Her. And I said, oh, shit, I'm connected to her? I'm literally having a conversation with myself, and I said, I'm connected to her? And the voice said, yeah, you're connected to her because you're connected to him. So the voice had been telling me that when you connect to people, you're connected to them forever, right? And those people that they're connected to, you're connected to as well. So this is why the narcissist has to separate people, because their lies will come to light, and this is why you won't hear back from them. This is why they would hide the new supply, because they're playing an image that they've changed, but you haven't changed because you're not exposing who you really are, and you're not changing who you really are. You're just leaving things in the past. You're not apologizing to people. You're not giving back to those that gave to you. So no matter how much you change and how many good deeds you do to the new people in your circle or to your new family and friends, and you try to brush off what you did in the past and what you did to others, history has already been written. You can't change what you already did. Even if it was by ignorance, you can't change it. You still got to pay for those things, even if it was by ignorance. Even when the empath does things by ignorance, you still have to pay for those things. So the narcissist is constantly not trying to pay for those things. So you better believe anybody around them, they're sacrificing. So this is why they don't apologize. This is why they silence you. This is why they're hiding the new supply from you. They're hiding people in their life from their past. This is why you'll tell them, oh, how come you don't bring me around these people? How come you only brought me around them one time? They're like, you already know them. You don't need to know them anymore. Like, that's it. This is why they separate people, because as human beings, we're all connected. And when you build fake intimacy, fake relationships with people, you have to pay for that. And because the narcissist doesn't want to pay for that, they'll pay for it with what they love the most. So if they love that new supply the most, they're going to have to pay for it. That person might even betray them. And guess what? When that person betrays them, they're going to act like, oh, I dealt with the Jezebel spirit and I didn't deserve that. I'm an empath. I did everything for her. But they're not going to tell you what they've done to other people. So this is basically the message I wanted to put out there, and I didn't really have time to edit it. And I'm going to make my dinner, and I'm going to worry about this fucking tire tomorrow, you guys. And I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Love you guys. Bye.